Hey, what's up, you guys? So, for this video, I decided on doing another animated Reddit stories. I've done this a couple of times. I haven't really done this in a while. For this video, I decided on doing Karen stories since they always just seem so entertaining. All three stories I picked for today's video are from r/entitledparents. So, if you want more of these stories, I recommend checking that out. Alright, let's get on with the vid. Karen ruins a kid's birthday party. This is a repressed memory from years ago that I had forgotten until it came up in dinner conversation last night. I remember glimpses of it, but my parents remember in vivid detail. When I was about 12, we were at Chuck E. Cheese's, and this lady, typical Toronto lady, I don't know how a typical Toronto lady dresses, so demanded that her kids be included in some random kid's birthday party. She was knocking cups off the table, staring down the poor birthday boy, and hollering, "If my child can't be involved, you shouldn't have it in public places." Like what? It's a Chuck E. Cheese, not a public place. As she's getting out, they passed right by her table, and my family got to hear the good stuff. From what my mom can remember, "Just wait, I won't forget your faces. I'll remember this the next time I'll be going to Woody Woodchuck's. How dare you treat my baby like this? He deserves so much more." She spilled a Coke on our table, called my mom the N-word, worth South Asian. She tried to sit down on the floor, and a female employee had to literally drag her out. We got free pizza and tons of tokens for putting up with that. And they gave tons of free stuff to the birthday boy. When my parents were retelling that, I was impressed that she was brave enough to sit on the Chuck E. Cheese's floor. Yeah, I don't know who would do that, honestly. It's like, have you been there before? That place sucks. I think, honestly, that's probably one of the most unsanitary places you can go. Entitled mom and son yell at my sister for having a birthmark. A little backstory, this incident happened about 3 years ago when I was 10 years old and my sister was 8. I'm 13 now and my sister is 11. Even though I'm only 10, I already knew that I wanted to be a lawyer. One of my relatives was in law enforcement during this time, so naturally I was interested in it because he showed me some stuff about it. So I was a skilled debater and know how to argue with someone and have the back off from anyone. Anyways, my sister and I were sent to get the food a fast food restaurant has made that we ordered. Here is where this happens. EM, entitled mom, EK, entitled kid, S, sister, MD, my dad. So my sister and I were walking to the pickup line to get food that we had ordered. Once we got there, we waited in line for a good minute and a half when this woman and her kid walk up behind us. My sister and I, being the little kids we were, naturally turned around to look at who was behind us. We noticed a kid who walked up to my sister and stared at her birthmark in her forehead. That moronic kid then walks to his mom, EM, and says, "Mommy, what's that little thing on that girl's forehead?" EM then looks over and shrieks like a dog. By then, I have already turned around because I was bored. I have ADHD, so I was playing with my hands. But my sister hadn't. The shriek had startled her, so she turned around and poked me, and I noticed the EM with a look of panic in her eye. I asked this EM, "Why are you staring at her like that?" She looks at me and stutters, You know this girl?" "No, I don't. That's why we're standing here in the line." I have mastered the art of sarcasm by then. Of course I know her. She's my sister." "Where are your parents? I need to talk to them." I was a little ticked off on how stupid this woman was. "Somewhere in the food court. Why are you staring at my sister like that? She has a darker color of skin on her forehead. That's a bad influence for my kid." I proceed to walk in front of my sister to see what she's talking about. "What the? That's a birthmark, you idiot." "No, it's a gang sign. I've seen teenagers with those same type of things. All over their bodies." Obviously, this woman was very stupid. I said, "It's a birthmark. It's a mark you get on your body when you're born. That's why it's called birthmark. BIRTHMARK. This is when EK goes, Mommy, that thing is dark and scary. EM says to me, well, it's obviously not. I've seen other people with that. Make her wipe it off. I go berserk. Are you dim-witted? Do you not know what a birthmark is? Oh wait, I forgot. Your brain capacity is too low to know what one is, much less be able to understand what the dang word means. It's a birthmark, for heck's sake. It's a natural mark people get on their skin. MD had heard the commotion and started walking over to me to know what was going on. EM starts to say, Manager, I need the manager. This kid is harassing me and my child. Some employees had already been watching this scene and no one did anything. So EM took matters into her own hands. Kid, you better get out of this store or I'm calling the manager. Go ahead. She noticed that I was not leaving the store. At least she has eyes. Well, I know the owner. I'll call him and make you leave. She makes a fake phone call, and then MD had showed up and started arguing with the lady. He then asked me why I was yelling, so I told him everything. He started screaming at the lady. Then, when she said again that she knew the owner was already there, and when the lady said it again, he said, Lady, who even are you? Why do you keep saying you know me? EM, knowing she was losing, threatened to call the cops, but MD didn't care and told her to go ahead. She made a phone call and ran away with her kid. We waited an hour for the cops to show up in case they wanted to question us. You know, I kinda love Reddit. It shows me that there are much more stupid people out there than me. You know? I mean, a birthmark is a gang sign? What? Alright. Karen pretends to fall and calls the cops. I just started dating a guy and invited him to my house. At around noon, when the sun finally peeked through the clouds, and despite the cold, I suggest we go to the park beside the apartment. We go and sit at a gazebo, freezing our butts off. We could have gone in at any time, but I guess, frick TV and pizza. Let's get frostbite. Not expecting people, there were actually a few, and a Karen taking her kids to have a snowball fight, not far from us. Just as we were joking about seeing my parents there, I hear a familiar voice calling my name. It was them. I walked over to them, my boyfriend staying in the gazebo because it's windy, and talked to them for a while. They live just down the road, so it wasn't surprising to see them there. Since we had to stay a few feet from each other because of COVID, I spoke extra loudly as we were chatting. And I'm assuming Karen was eavesdropping. We do mention my boyfriend, I guess to the point that anyone, Karen, could figure out we were dating. Wouldn't be a problem if I wasn't a dude. I was done talking to my parents and they started heading back home. I was heading back to the gazebo. Halfway there, a speed-walking Karen walked in front of me and stopped. I said sorry and started walking around her. She stepped in front of me again, crossed her arms and frowning. Yes? Do you know that man? She said, pointing to my boyfriend. Yes? Of course you shouted it like you wanted the whole world to know. This is a public place. You cannot set a bad example in front of my children and corrupt them. What? Don't play dumb. A man loving another man is disgusting. My children should not have to hear that. Hold on, you were listening to my conversation? Don't shout and I won't listen. First off, rude of you to listen to our conversation. You were teaching my children unacceptable behaviors. Me continuing like we hadn't interrupted. Second, my dad has very bad hearing, and we were standing multiple feet from each other. She then said, enough excuses, you owe me and my children an apology. You will not leave until you apologize, and then you will leave the park. No. I started walking around her, and she walked in front of me. I rolled my eyes. Really? She said, yes, right now. I'm not doing that, and if you don't stop blocking me, I'll just keep walking. Yeah, go ahead and try and see what happens. I once again tried, but she blocks me away again. I once again try, but she blocks my way again. I try again, she blocks me, but this time I keep going and lightly push her to the side. Now comes the best part. She steps backwards, shouting, ow, and pretends to fall over. It was so fake. It looked like she wasn't even trying to hide it. The kids came running, trying to protect her. I stopped and just laughed, shaking my head and proceeding. She gets up, walks behind me, and calls the cops, saying, "He assaulted me. My shoulder and back are in severe pain. Please send help." All while her kids follow her, probably terrified, could not believe her. I made it back, and I could tell from Liam's look, I'm guessing Liam is the boyfriend name. He had a lot of questions. I explained what happened, and he seriously thought I was joking. He eventually caught on, and we decided the best plan was to wait for the cops and tell them what happened. They eventually came, and the whole thing was sorted out, and the cops basically told her she was in no danger, and she was chatting with them as they left. Talk about setting examples. We started to leave as she blocked the gazebo entrance to stop us. She gave us a smug look. She had locked us up and was about to get what she wanted. We tried talking to her, but she refused to budge. So I just jumped out of the side along with Liam and nearly died of laughter as she threw a tantrum about it. We just walked back home. I feel bad for Liam, of course. His fingers were red for waiting so long. Kind of his fault a little though. I was only like 100 feet from the gazebo. He could have just came out and told me. I hope I never see that lady again, and hope her kids don't learn from her. I like the top comment here. It says, "Bet you if you had kissed him in front of her kids, she would have run screaming." Honestly, I think that would have been hilarious if you had done that. Anyway, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Be sure to check out my other videos as well if you're interested. I might make more videos of this type of stuff because it is fun, although it is kind of time consuming. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Alright, see you next time. Bye.